One thing I forgot to mention is I gave the app a name. I named it Daily Image Finder, or DIF. So the last time I created the front end of the app, but nothing was really functional because there was no database connection. And as it turns out, database management systems are complicated. You gotta pick what's right for you and then work through about 100 different options when setting up the server and connections. So I'm gonna skip over all that and just demo the option I went with. I chose MySQL and I decided to keep the server on my local machine. I also installed MySQL Workbench so I can get a better visualization of what's going on. So let's create the database and tables directly from MySQL Workbench to start so that we can understand the process, and then we'll jump into the Python script. So first, we connect to the local server hosted on my machine. We can see 3 databases that came with the installation. Here we can see I've written a script that will create the databases and tables. So let's run this. Now we can see the database and 2 tables were created, log and user data. But the tables are empty, so let's populate the tables with a couple rows. Now that we've done database and table creation and populated those tables with information using the MySQL Workbench, I'm going to delete this, and we can use this tool to visualize what we're doing with Python. So let's go redo what we just did using Python. So if you think about it, the Python script only really needs to run once in order to build the database. So I created one script that's kind of separate from the project and not accessible from the app, where if we run this, we'll recreate the database and tables. So let's go verify that our creation worked.
By golly, it worked.
Now the rest of the updates need to come through the app. I've already built the functionality in, so I'll just demo it now. Now remember, the user data table is currently empty, so we're going to have to create new credentials in order to populate that. Let's create an entry for John Smith and let his password be password. And we can see John Smith's row has been created with the correct password, but he doesn't have a keyword. Let's add a keyword now. We'll add dog. And we can see that worked. That's exciting. So now let's close the app and reopen it. We'll log in as John Smith again, and we'll update our keyword to frog. And again, we can see that this update is working. The last thing I want to demo is logging in with John Smith's credentials but misspelling his password, and we'll see that it gets rejected. So our query is working as well. I think that's it for this video. The next stage will be the web scraper, so I'll demo that in the next one. Check it out if you're interested.